Hello, hello there. This is Kim Klaver, and welcome to the first session of the Buyer Factory. And of course, the purpose of this class is to show you how to get buyers for your product as soon as possible, as most directly as possible, meaning that your messaging is such that the people who have the problem that you know how to solve because you've solved it for yourself, that they come to you and go, let me see what you have. Okay? So the class is called I Got My A+ Because, and here we go. I want to give you a disclaimer before we start, which is that building a network marketing business is like getting good at tennis. And what that means is your success and the speed of it depends on how much practice you do. And in our case, it's not tennis, but it's communication with somebody else on the other side, okay? So it's not listening to classes, it's not going to meetings, it's not watching videos, it's not reading scripts. It's how often, how much you practice doing the communication with people out there who might have the problem that you know how to solve. That's how it basically works. You really practice your way into competence, practice your way into doing it in an excellent way. And then the way you do that, of course, is to modify what you do based on results you get. So if Aunt Lulu says to you, well, you know what, I don't want to spend $85 a month for skincare cream because that's way too much. And you say, well, what do you do now? And she says, well, I use Pond's and it's $6 and I get it for 2 months. Next time, you don't want to talk to somebody who uses Pond's cream. And there are ways that you can position what you do. So somebody who spends $6 a month is never going to respond to you, and you don't hear no, and they don't feel like they've done something bad to you, okay? So you need to also understand what is the purpose of our business. The purpose of the business, if you want income from it, is to get customers, paying customers, and those are people whose problem you're solving. They're not friends and family necessarily at all. They're people who have a problem, and whether you know them or not, they have a problem, and you have a way to solve it that aligns with who they are, what their values are. Does that make sense? It also depends on how fast. If you want to build, and you have a team of people that are doing stuff, your success and the speed of it also depends on how fast and how well you pass this concept on to people that are ambitious as well. And of course, how much do you truly love the game of building a world-class business? So this is what it takes. And remember those fast success stories that you hear. For example, oh, Joe Blow just has only been in the company for 6 weeks and he's already made $25,000. And you have been in for, 8 weeks and you've made $9 so far. Those fast success stories always have other stories, many other stories, usually 10, 15, 20 years of trial and error behind it that you don't know anything about because, of course, they don't often tell you those things. So be conscious of the fact that fast success can come, yes, but only after you've spent the requisite time learning and practicing and doing. Most of the people who are at the top of any of their companies have been in the business 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, almost all of them. And if sometimes, there'll be somebody who's new to the industry, but if they've got following already of 10,000 people on Instagram or 100,000 people, or say they're somebody who's a well-known singer or a well-known politician, they will have access that you don't have. So you get to build that. You can surely achieve it. You have to put in, what they say, you put in your time and your practice, and pretty soon you get really good too. So there's nothing preventing you. Just don't be discouraged by stories of quick success because they've put in their time. They just don't talk about it, okay? Another thing to be conscious of is that in the industry of teaching people how to do things, whether it's math, whether it's tennis, whether it's learning how to communicate, whether it's learning how to coach, the teacher has a certain function. They want to show the way, and presumably they've done it so they know what that way is and what the brambles are. But the bottom line is that the teacher only shows the way. The effort has to be made by the person doing the effort. And this is true for spiritual work, it's true for physical work, it's true for any kind of learning that is significant. It's kind of like doing the push-ups. We can't really do the push-ups for you. Nobody can do your push-ups if you want that body that is going to look the way you want it to look. But we can show the path and help and encourage until. And when you think about that, remember that when it's time for the gold medal, You're the one who gets the gold medal. When it's time to go on stage, you're the one who goes on stage. The coach doesn't get that place. The person who has done the work and who has transformed themselves, they're the ones who get the glory and the honor and the income. That's true for almost everything. Of course, in network marketing, what's special is if you help someone and they become that person, that benefits you as well. Because as you know, like in real estate, we earn a commission and a percent on the earnings of people that we help achieve what they want. So, are you ready to begin? Number one is you want to know more than anything else to bring your best self to the game. And there are a lot of ways to do this. And we have found a way to do it that I've learned from somebody else just very recently. I'm going to show you what that is. There's a professor who told his class, by the way, this is from a wonderful book called The Art of Possibility by Rosalind and Benjamin Zander. So this guy's a professor at I think, the Boston Conservatory, and he told his class, very high-class music students, I'm going to allay your fears about getting an A+ in the class. Because everybody worries. All these students are people that are, high-quality musicians, and they want to make it big in the music world. And, of course, they all worry about each other and how they're going to stack up with each other. So he said, you're not going to worry about getting this A+ in the class anymore. I'm going to give an A+ right now on the first day of class to anyone who wants one. So all the students go, really? And some of them thought, well, I don't really like that idea, because what if I'm better than somebody else? I wouldn't know it. I want to know how I stack up, right? How do I have to get an A+ right now before we start? And he said, one condition, it is, you must write me a letter. And the letter is dated 6 months out from today. So look at your calendar. What is 6 months from today, from the day that you're seeing this? Okay? And what's going to happen is you're going to place yourself in the future, 6 months out. This is you 6 months from today, and you are looking back. And it is 6 months from now. I want to hammer this in. 6 months from now, 6 months from now. This is you 6 months from now looking back. Write down the date, 6 months out. Do that now. And here's the letter. You're going to say, Dear Teacher Kim, I got my A+ because... And then you're going to list some things. We're going to tell why you achieved, you're going to tell why you achieved this extraordinary grade. I've achieved blah, blah, and blah. Whatever matters to you. You list that. I put 3 things, you can put 5 things. As many as you want. Next, these are the insights that I have acquired. 1, 2, 3, whatever the insights are that you've acquired. From the vantage point of the you 6 months from now, okay? These are the milestones I've attained. 1, 2, 3. This is the person I've become. 1, 2, 3. I am now someone who blah, 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 blah. I now believe blah, 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 blah. I am now blah, 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 blah. Fill that in. Sign it. Take your time with this. Imagine anything you want. Anything you want that you've dreamed of being, because you're now 6 months from now. It might even be a year from now. But let's say 6 months. You sign it. And my question is this, are you passionately in love with the person that you are describing in this letter? Yes or no? Write it until the answer is, I am crazy madly in love with the person that I am describing in this letter. So do not pass go here to go to the next sessions until you are passionately in love with that person that you have just now described, because this is your future you, and only 6 months from now. And it's waiting for you to make it real. That's what this is about. So you bring that to each lesson, okay? Don't you want to show up as your best self instead of not your best self? You know how they say in the Bible, throw off the old self and put on the new self. And this is a way to have you do that, where you're describing that new self right now. So here's to the future you, the angel, the temporarily stuck angel inside that marble. Remember that? So now we're going to become our own Michelangelo. Remember what he said? I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free. This is what we're doing, right here, right now. P.S. I got my A+ because craft this letter Keep it with you 24/7. Read it out loud just before you do any of these lessons. Frankly, if I were you, I would make copies and plaster it on the bathroom window, in the kitchen, on the fridge, any place where underneath your pillow. Read it out loud before you do the lessons. Read it out loud in the morning. Read it out loud at night. Because it will tell your mind, oh, look at this new you. Oh, look at this new you. And if you know anything about the workings of the mind, you know that the mind can't tell the difference between a story that you're telling it and a story that you're telling it. So you may as well tell it a cool story. Even though your conscious mind is going to go, oh, it's not going to happen. That's okay. Let it go. Say, look, when we get to where we're going, I'll take you with me if you just be quiet here for a bit, and we'll go first class instead of second class, or instead of coach, or instead of the bus. Okay? Read it out loud. Because that way, the best self that you have right now, that's possible based on this letter, appears. And why does that matter? Because it increases the likelihood of your success by probably 100x, but I was conservative and put 10x. Are you ready for that? Write your letter. And then we'll go on to the next session, which is going to be, what is the market for what you're marketing? How to figure out online how big the market is for what you're marketing. Okay? All right. Talk to you soon. This is Kim Klaver. Thanks for listening.